Hello, friends of TV Agro. My name is Johanna Regino Vergara, and I am a professor at the La Salle University where we are at this moment, and today we will talk about biobusinesses as an opportunity to generate successful rural ventures. In this sense, it must be borne in mind that, currently, everything related to the climate emergency and the need for more sustainable and environmentally friendly processes and projects are fundamental aspects. Rural projects have a very important opportunity, and it is the development of biobusinesses that contribute to working together with nature, but also understanding that it generates economic, social, and environmental benefits. But basically they have been talking to us all this time about the word bio and how to connect it with business. When we talk about biobusiness, we are talking about productive activities that use nature's resources in a sustainable way. We are talking about plants, about animals, microorganisms, and even the entire biological process together to generate benefits that become alternatives for the rural sector. When we talk about biobusiness, we have to keep in mind some opportunities that are presented to us in the global context, but also the challenges that we face, especially in strengthening organizational and productive capacities that are necessary to work harmoniously with nature. Speaking of opportunities, the first thing to keep in mind is to understand what is the current consumer. A consumer who is responsible, who cares for the environment, and for rural entrepreneurs, this is a huge opportunity because for this type of products, such as organic ones, those that have regional seals or those that work hand in hand with nature, consumers, they are willing to pay more for it and generate added value. Keeping in mind that organic agriculture currently exports 95% of its products to the foreign market, although only less than 1% is cultivated in the territory. These become the expectation to generate more or less $260,000 million by the year 2026. This does not indicate the opportunity to generate cleaner processes with regenerative agriculture or projects that work together with nature. Taking advantage of nature's benefits such as pollination, the efficient use of water, of the inputs that not only remain in these processes but also help us reduce costs. So these opportunities, added to the responsible consumer, and with the territorial contribution of great materials, natural resources that can be converted into raw materials such as timber processes, animals, fibers, and medicinal products that can be used sustainably to generate income and carry out responsible projects from the region. Biobusinesses are the alternative to overcome poverty in the territories. They are livelihoods to generate additional income in regional, national, and even international markets. It has been shown that processes such as regenerative agriculture generate 30% profit for producers. However, it must be borne in mind that one of the most important challenges is that the processes take between 2 and 4 years while the soil is converted and learning curves are generated. Biobusinesses also have important challenges in the region, such as all the strengthening of organizational and associative capacities. It is not a secret to anyone, and we have been working on it from the university research groups, that one of the most important weaknesses for access to financing is the formulation of projects that are sustainable over time. We do not really understand what our client is like. We do not know what the certifications are and how much we should invest. Likewise, we do not formulate projects that really reflect reality and show that feasibility. Therefore, strengthening those capacities that go beyond production, because technical knowledge is needed to understand biological processes, but also the organizational part such as cooperation networks. The role of academia and governments to promote these projects is key because it allows us to make sustainable initiatives over time. It is necessary to understand that talking about biobusiness, they are not projects that generate immediate benefits. They are sustainable processes over time. And although the investments may be significant or important at the beginning, these projects over a long period of time generate an alternative income to the territories. Another opportunity that arises within the framework of biobusinesses is the ability to generate innovation and technology processes. When we talk about technologies, we are talking about the generation of irrigation systems for the efficient use of water, systems that allow the improvement of nutrients, the use of artificial intelligence, biotechnological processes, and precision agriculture are key to promoting the development of successful rural ventures based on the use of technology. Keep in mind that when we talk about technology, we are not only talking about advanced things, we are also referring to much smaller processes that promote joint work with nature in the region. It must be borne in mind that, in our country at present, there are benefits that are provided from the tax part to make investments in machinery and infrastructure in the environmental part. For example, for investments in energy, waste disposal, there are benefits such as the exclusion of VAT, the reduction in detention at the source, which allow us to make investments that improve and optimize production processes. One of the most important challenges we have, according to studies, is that currently only in this case very few have access to machinery, equipment and capital in the territory. The same studies reveal that 83% do not have access to adequate infrastructure that allow these processes to be carried out. One of the most important challenges that must be worked on together with mayors and governors, including from public policy, is to promote technological processes that allow improvements and advances in sustainable agriculture initiatives, for example, or in silvopastoral systems or sustainable livestock. This is a fundamental challenge for all biobusiness processes. Another class aspect is that the agricultural sector has a fundamental challenge regarding the climate, but what does that imply? The mitigation of risks and natural disasters is key to being able to maintain and sustain production systems. In Colombia, there is a fundamental problem with respect to insurance that can cover crop losses. Less than 5% of the land that we have cultivated is actually insured, which tells us that risk management in the territory is also key to promoting biobusinesses keep them over time. Another key aspect is the formalization and access to credit, for example. It is no secret to anyone that the agricultural sector is informal and that, to access sources of financing and cooperation, they need to meet requirements, be certified. For example, talk about agriculture organic. 3 years are required to be able to talk about the certifications that not only require time but also money. Therefore, the biobusiness has a fundamental challenge, which is to carry out these formalization processes. Educate the region so that producers can access these resources and promote at the territorial level a policy that generates equitable income for men and women and benefits the territory. Taking into account the above, and with the country's biodiversity, biobusinesses are the opportunity to really help us overcome poverty in the region. But we must keep in mind that in order to use the benefits that nature offers us in a sustainable way, it is necessary to formulate steps to build ventures that include capacities in marketing processes, production, making responsible use of nature and the benefits it offers us. Also working together with associations, academia, and the company to establish fair trade agreements that promote a sustenance in the territory. When we talk about sustainable territories, we talk about generating livelihoods in the region. This implies generating sustainable enterprises and using biological processes to work together and generate economic, social, and environmental benefits that we so badly need to overcome climate change today. Friends of Vagro, I hope you liked it and that the information on biobusinesses in the territory is useful since they become a fundamental process for the rural process. Remember that I am Johanna Regina Vergara, a professor at the University of La Salle, and we'll see you in an upcoming program.